Are now 5 pounds down in 7 days, and here is how I've done it. Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to episode 3 of the 3-week mini cut series. In this video we're going to be covering what to do when you fuck up on your calories. Also going to cover various other points such as intermittent fasting and making a calorie deficit effortless, and a few other bits. If you have not seen the first 2 episodes, I'll put the link in the description so you can watch them after this video. They cover things like cardio, how to work out your calories, how to work out your macros, different parts of the training split, and etc. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to start the video and go for a full day now in the life of a cut to see exactly how much we can change our body in just 3 weeks. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and make sure you stay up to date with the series. And also, please do me a massive solid and give the video a thumbs up. Day number 7 weigh-in. 172 pounds. So day 7 physique check. So we've got unflexed completely. I am actually yet to train my abs at all. All I've done is just slightly bringing my body fat down bit by bit by bit. The weight is coming down, and then all I'm doing is just lifting fairly heavy with some compound movements, which engages your core quite a bit anyway. However, I am going to start training abs and really get them to shine through and we get popping. Okay, so we have got a busy day ahead. We've got some work to do. I'm currently just checking through my fitness emails. I'm now offering, not only do I offer plans, I offer full online coaching and in-person coaching. On top of this, I also have a full-time job. I know, where do I find the time? So I'm getting a few hours of work in, checking the fitness emails, and then we have got some errands to run. Anyway, first intake of the day. I know I go on about intermittent fasting, and I'm going to go more on about that later in the video and explain it, but you don't have to be ultra strict. A black coffee would be ideal in the first thing in the morning, but it tastes like shit. So I'm having a coconut flat white from Costa Coffee, as I do most mornings. Popping in the car on the first errand of the day. I'm popping down to see a very good friend of mine. He's actually a videographer. If you're into videos or any video work, go and check him out. His Instagram is Joel at Joelography. I'll put it on screen. So yeah, he's kind enough to actually be lending me a camera. So these videos across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all socials will become a lot better for the time being, while I'll shop around and try and get the right camera for myself. Where the magic happens, eh mate? So just got back home and time to test out the new setup. So we got this nice shiny camera that we're going to give a go. Not for this video because it's already half filmed. So we are going to use this for the next one in 3 days time. And then we got a nice microphone for all the voiceovers and just talking while on film, etc. So I'm going to give this a go, edit it all up in Premiere Pro, and then go from there. One other update, which is actually on the plans. If you are not on a program, you can get in the best shape of your life ever for $19.99, lifting just 3 days a week, completely flexible diet, and absolutely no cardio training. So I'm actually going to switch the plans up. The price is going up. I'm switching to a brand new platform, which I believe I'm going to use this website here, as it looks pretty decent and it's got a lot more features and teachable. So going to flick to this brand new program, completely written from scratch, all content for every single page. The content is going to be talking through every single page, like 25 to 30 pages of information on absolutely everything you could ever need to know. And then the content's also going to include all the form videos and etc. Just make it as educational as possible to give you absolutely all the tools to not only transform your body now, but also for the rest of your life. Prices are probably going to be around, I don't know, maybe around £50 initially for the first select few, and they are going to increase again after that. But if you buy one for £19.99 now, you'll get lifetime access. So while we're out on a walk, let's cover the subject I promised this video on my last one, which is intermittent fasting. Now, there are a ton of health benefits to intermittent fasting, not ones I'm exactly going to go through. I'm going to keep this strictly fitness and fat loss related. So what is a benefit in regards to fat loss for intermittent fasting? See, the benefit is you can enjoy big, fulfilling and delicious meals that are completely unrestricted. Usually, if you're on a cut and you're consuming 500 to 600 calories for breakfast, you're then consuming 1,000 calories for lunch, you really have no calories left for dinner, or you're going over your calories. After a night of being completely still all night in a fasted state, there is no need to refuel in the morning. If you refuel with breakfast, all you're doing is giving your body energy to burn throughout the day. If you do not give your body a source of energy in the morning, you have no choice but to use your natural reserves, using your fat cells as energy. Not only does this put you in a perfect fat burning state, but it also means you can have a lunch of 500, 1,000 calories, whatever you want, and then a dinner to fulfill the rest of your calories, or a nice evening snack of chocolate or whatever you desire. A lot of people say, yeah, but I get hungry in the morning or I'll be starving all day. You won't. It takes about 3 to 4 days to adapt. Your body just triggers hormones upon your routine. You're not actually going to be hungry after a week of doing this. It's going to be so easy, you won't even want to eat in the morning. Not only that, but when you eat in the morning, your blood sugar spikes and all you do is think about what you're going to have for your next meal all day, but you've got a lot more mental clarity if you are fasted. Not only that, the last point I will make, again, I'm not going to go through all the health benefits there are, but if you consume a large breakfast, all you do is put yourself in a bit of a food coma and a lot slower through the day. Trust me, give it a try. Don't knock it before you try it, and I guarantee it will become a whole lot easier. Your cravings will stay at bay and you don't have to cut out any foods in your diet. Still hit your calorie level, still hit your macro level, just breakfast off. Okay, so lunchtime. So we're gonna go 275 grams of chicken breast. That's a raw weight. And then we're gonna go with some tuna and pasta on the side. Little bit of a weird combination, but I fancy it. As I said, slightly weird combination, however, it does look delicious in my opinion. So eating lunch brings me onto my next subject based on calories. And this is going to be, what do you do when you mess up on your calories? So this week I've had it on Sunday. I went out with some family. I, had a few beers, had a burger at a restaurant called Co, which was a lot more calories than I expected it to be. And anyway, I went over by about 600. So after a 2,600 day at maintenance, it's not the end of the world. However, it's definitely not going to get me where I want to be in a very short 3-week period. So what I have decided to do, you've got 3 options here. If you go massively over calories, option one is just forget about it. Just move on, get back on track, stay focused, and get back on your calories the next day, and just stick to your calories going forward and forget it ever happened. Just move past it. Option 2 is going to be to make up for it the next day. However, I do not condone this method at all or recommend it, just because if you are going all in the next day, if you're going 600 over and the next day you're going 600 under, it's just such big calorie swings and it's just not going to be very enjoyable whatsoever. So the option I've chosen is option 3. This is so them 600 calories I'd overbuy on Sunday, I'm now going to spread them across the entire week. So rather than 2,000, I'm going to have 1,900 for the next 6 days, which will get me back on track and back into the deficit that I want to be. If I was like 1,500 calories over, I would just do the same, but just do 200 every day, or I'd just forget about it and go back to my deficit. So that's what we're going to do, 1,900 calories, which is not massively enjoyable, but it's only a few weeks. So today is technically a rest day. However, on my rest days, once to maximum of twice a week, I like to train abs separately. Now, let's talk abs. There's a lot of misconceptions on, so many videos out there, how to get a six pack, all these circuit routines, just limitless crunches, etc. So in order to get a solid set of abs, it mainly comes down to your body fat percentage. As you'll see over the next 2 weeks, the more my body fat comes down, the more visible my abs will be, whether I train them or not. Also, if you're heavy lifting, like doing a lot of compound movements like squats and deadlifting, standing shoulder press, etc., you're engaging your core so much and working it, even though you're not trying to bias it, you're still really engaging it. And that will, help in regards to building some muscle in your core. So it is not essential that you train your abs separately, but I would definitely recommend it at least once a week. Now, your abs do not need to be treated differently to any other muscle group in your body. People do like 1,000 crunches a day. I mean, 1,000 is a bit of exaggeration, to be fair, but I do 100 crunches a day, every day. Like that, you wouldn't train your chest every day. So why would you train your abs every day? They're just another muscle. So they need time to to recover, to rest up, and to go again. Also, when you are doing heavy lifting and compound movements, you are using them quite a bit, so you just can't train them too much. But however, again, on the ab training days, you want a good amount of resistance, ideally, optimal movements, the ones that are going to really challenge your abs and really engage your core the most, rather than doing crunches. And you ideally want to, again, just use progressive overload, getting better and better, stronger and stronger, and really build up the muscle in your abs. Although it is very much down to body fat, take a look at this picture here. So I was at my all-time heaviest and I was overweight for my body. However, you can still see some slight definition because I have a good level of muscle mass in my stomach. But however, they will only be solid when you cut down on the fat. So the first exercise is going to be hanging leg raises. If I could do one ab exercise for the rest of my life, it would be this one when performed correctly. So number one is I would either invest in some straps to hold yourself or get a pair of these bad boys. You can just go on Amazon, go on eBay, whatever, type in ab straps, I'm sure they'll come up. I'll actually find a link for you and put it in the description. But it just means that your grip is not going to be a limiting factor. Like if you're, again, doing deadlifts, or if you're, doing rows, or whatever, any pulling movement or pull-ups, there is no point on your grip being a limiting factor. If you're doing pull-ups, you want your back and your biceps to really fail before your grip does. Otherwise, you're not really training to failure on that particular muscle you're trying to target. So it's no different for abs. You're trying to train abs, why are you going to let your grip give up before your abs do? So into the first exercise, and here are some form tips. Number one is going to be your range of motion. This is the bottom of the movement. Any lower than this and you are just using your hip flexors. Make sure to keep the tension on the abs. Your focus is then going to be using your core and tightening your core, pulling your knees up towards your chest. The next common mistake is using momentum to swing. This movement needs to be controlled all the way through the range of motion. The The second exercise is going to be very, very similar. It's going to be knee raises, but on an incline bench. If you have an extremely strong core, this is how you'll want to perform the movement. As you come down to the bottom of the motion, you do not want to rest or let your bum touch the seat. You want to keep full control. Obviously, the higher the incline on the bench, the harder the movement becomes. If your core is not that strong, then take a slight pause and a slight rest at the bottom of the movement. Let your bum touch the seat and come down a little further. The lower your legs come, the more the hip flexors take over. You can give this little bunny hop at the end, or you can quite simply pull your knees towards your chest and crunch. To finish up, we had weighted rope crunches. The keys here are to keep your hips in place. You are not praying, make sure you contract the spine and engage the abs on the way down, opposed to keeping a flat back. The last tip is to not pull down with your biceps and make sure you are fully engaging your core to pull the weight. Anyway, finish the day off with a little Nando's wrap. And here is a full day's calories and macros. We have now come to the end of the video, and I'm going to wrap things up here with plenty of tips ready for episode 4. If you have not seen the whole series, start at episode 1 on the channel. Also, links in the description. If you have not jumped on a plan yet, jump on and change your life effortlessly with my guidance. For now, I'll see you in the next one, and good night.